Today I'm going to teach you how to make a macrame plant hanger, a little bit like these guys just here. We're going to start off very simple, and then probably in the next few videos we're going to learn something a little bit more complicated, like something like this or this. What you're going to need is 3 pieces of rope. Okay, so this one is approximately 2 meters. Let's check. Yeah, that's about 1 meter. So you need 3 bits of rope or macrame cord, 2 meters long each. You will need somewhere to hang your cord while you're making it. So right now I'm standing on a stool because that will leave me closer to the bar. You might like to use a curtain rod. You could hold a broom, balance a broom on something, but the thing is you do need to be able to take this off at the end, unless where you're making it is where you want to keep it forever. On top of these 3 2-meter pieces of cord, you will need these 2 pieces of rope, or cord, and some trusty scissors. I've just picked these up from Reject Shop, but you can use whatever scissors you have at home, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these back up here for the moment. Now this part here we're going to do is we are going to gather the rope and make it kind of like a little hoop. Okay, so to do that we get our cord, rope, and we just do a little loop at the top. We're going to hold this against the rope and very slowly twirl that around from the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to hold these really tight, make your little loop. Now start looping around the bottom and leaving this little guy hanging out the bottom. Okay, so we're going to use him in a moment. Try to keep this as tight as you can and together. Okay, so see how I'm not leaving many gaps here? That is what you want. So you might want to watch this video and then pause it and go back and check how you're doing. Keep going, and now I can't go around anymore. So what I would like you to do is pop this guy through the hoop. Then we're going to go down the bottom. Remember this little guy? We're going to slowly pull him. Now the top of the rope needs to stay in this hole because it will pull that rope down and tight. Can you see how it's going in the hole there? So keep going a little bit more. Okay, just until the top one disappears, or that's fine as well. That's okay. We're going to cut the rope here. Just get my trusty scissors, and these are very good scissors. And see, beautiful. Now if you decide that this is too far up or too far down, you can move that spit. There we go. Okay. So we're going to start off very simple. We're going to pull these quite tight and see how they kind of group together in twos. We're just going to take one little group, pull it down about here, make a loop, the basic knot, and put it through the middle. Okay, so it's going to change. If your rope is thick, you are going to end up with thick knots. If you're using thinner rope or cord, obviously your knots will look smaller. So we're going to tie ropes all the way around. So I'm going to take the other one, loop it around. Okay, and I want the I want the knots to end up at the same height. So while this is still loose, that's a great time for you to move it. Okay, that's about the same height. Now just be careful if you are on a curtain rod or whatever you're using, you don't want to pull too hard on it. So I would do the pulling between your hands. And now for our lucky last. Going to tie a little knot here, just in line with the other two. Okay, again, pull it in your hands. Beautiful. So the next step is we're going to grab two of these and kind of look. These two naturally sit next to each other. So we're going to pull these about 8 centimeters down and tie a knot here. Okay, then we're going to go to the other guy over here, or girl, and grab the two that naturally fall next to each other. I'm going to tie another little knot. Again, move it down before you tighten it. And our lucky last one here. I'm feeling so like...
No, you're good. You're good.
Now. Okay, go. So now I have 6 knots in total. We're going to use our other piece of rope to gather these together. Now, the further down you tie it, the larger the gap's going to be here. So if you have a very small container, probably like this, you would probably want to tie it up a little bit higher. Okay, so for this I need, the container I'm going to use is quite thick, quite round, sorry. So we're going to tie the same knot as we have done up here. We're going to do it down the bottom here. Now, if you have a container that is quite big, it's okay to leave a bit of space here. If you have a container that is a little bit smaller around the bottom, then you're going to want to tie your knot a bit higher, a bit closer to the knots. So I'm going to grab my string and repeat the top step. So we've got a little loop. I'm going to hold it against here. Now the biggest trick for this, for the bottom part, is to not lose sight of your bottom here, because it can easily get camouflaged amongst the other ropes. So I can tell this one here is my rope I'm working with, and it's quite frayed and very short. So I'm going to continue around with this rope. Okay, doing it as tight as I can. And pop him through the little loop. Grab this guy and keep pulling. Great. Now, time for my trusty scissors again. I'm going to cut the top off here. And if you'd like, you could cut all of these to be the same level, or you could just leave them. Now, if you leave them, eventually they will fray and end up like this one over here. I personally like them all frayed in different lengths, but you decide what you want to do. Okay, generally they will fray, but we have made ourselves a plant hanger. Now for the plant. So here's a plant I just had laying around. Just open up and you kind of want to pop it in through the top. Now be careful that you don't break your plant's leaves. Okay, and once you can see that it's evenly spread around the outside here, you can let go. Okay, so like we said with tying the bottom here, because it was a much rounder pot, it was okay to leave such a gap. Something like this, you would probably want to tie this a bit closer to the knots here, so you could hug your plant a little bit more. So share your photos with us. We'd love to see. Post them down below.